Today we'll be looking at types of safety procedure in catering. From our previous classes, I'll go over it again. We talked about housekeeping as one of the departments in the hotel establishments. We looked at what housekeeping is all about. We looked at various personnel in the housekeeping and their functions and what they do. Also, we looked at the challenges, the responsibilities of various personnel in the catering housekeeping. So today is looking at safety measures in catering. Like I said, every section in this industry needs to adhere to safety measures in order to avoid accidents, injury, even leading to death. So today, we'll look at what safety. At the end of this class, be able to define safety, accident, first aid treatment, describe various types of accidents, causes and how they can be prevented, apply simple first aid measures in the kitchen or other areas in the catering industry, know the causes of fire, prevention of fire, and how to extinguish fire. So we'll move on to what safety is all about. Safety can be defined as a freedom from hazard, and this can also be achieved if these hazards are identified and removed. I repeat, it is freedom from hazard, and this can only be achieved if these hazards are identified and removed. Accident can also be defined as non-deliberate, unplanned, unintended, unanticipated, or unexpected event that happen suddenly, which can cause injuries, sometimes leads to death. Like I said, safety has to be identified and be removed. If safety has to be achieved, the causes of hazard must be identified and removed. So let's move on to types of accidents that you can see within the catering establishments. The common ones are cuts. Cuts are fresh wounds on the body caused by any sharp objects. Knives, broken bottles, cans, and scissors. That's the common cut you have around within the kitchen, which can cause by knife, broken bottles, cans, and scissors. We have the bruises. These occur when the body strikes against a fixed surface. It gives a blow with a sufficient force. You have bruises all over one's body. We have burns, which is common also in the kitchen. Injury caused to the skin caused by dry heat. We also look at this picture here. You can see oil explosion in the kitchen. This is what causes burn in the kitchen. You can see the blister at the end of the day. You can see this picture also, how it causes burn in the kitchen. You can also see scar. This scar is a type of injury that is caused in the kitchen by moist heat. Don't forget, this burn is caused by dry heat, while scar is caused by what? Moist heat. We look at other common accidents we have in the kitchen. We see the electric shock. It is common. Shock from electricity is common in the kitchen, where you have contact with electric currents. You touch electric current with your electric plugs with your wet hand, you have electric shock. We have also fall. Falls are common in the kitchen. It comes as a result of polished floor, overcrowded passage, wearing of high heel in the kitchen, and excessive heat. In fact, it's very, very important in the kitchen environment. You don't use a polished floor. You use a hard surface. A hard surface in the kitchen will enable you to have a balance when you're working in the kitchen environment. You are not afraid of fall or other form of accidents. It gives you balance when you're working on the hard floor. You don't use a polished floor, like polished tiles and all that in the kitchen. You don't use it in the kitchen. It calls for catering staffs. So let's look at this different accident. You can see that for there, caused by spilled on the floor, oil spilled. You can see this one caused by fire destruction. You can see this. You can see this one. You can see scat caused by hot steam. Usually, when you want to open your pots, you should open it, especially steamer, If you're using a steamer to cook, you should be able to open them gradually. You don't open it with force. When you open with force, it causes scar on your face. Thereby, you sustain injury. So these are precautions you need to take while you are working in the catering environment. Let's look at causes of accidents in the kitchen. There are various things that causes accident in the kitchen. Like I said initially, if you identify this hazard and you remove them, you will be free from accidents in the kitchen. Like they said that prevention is better than cure. We look at excessive haste causes accidents. Distraction of attention, lack of concentration, lack of interest, personal worries, distraction by other workers. When you are doing a particular job, it's expected of you that you should pay attention to what you are doing. You have a hot oil on the fire and you are busy discussing with somebody else out there. Turning your back, fire comes. So distractions causes accidents in catering. Excessive haste running in the kitchen causes accidents in the kitchen. Failure to apply safety rules, ignorance of rules, display overconfidence in the kitchen causes accidents. Failure to apply safety rules. You are careless about the rules in the kitchen, it will cause accidents. Also, poor kitchen organization, disorderliness. When things are arranged in disorderly way, it causes accidents in the kitchen. Also, when equipment are arranged in a very poor manner, it causes accidents in the kitchen. When there is poor lighting and ventilation, which causes suffocation sometimes, it causes accidents in the kitchen. When you use wrong equipment, for instance, using a sharp knife to open a can instead of a cutter, it will cause accidents in your hand. Using the wrong equipment will cause accidents in the kitchen. Also, slippery floors, like I said before, when you have floors that are slippery, it causes accidents in the kitchen. Wearing of wrong clothing and shoes. Like we are going to see in our safety rules, there are certain shoes, certain type of shoes you don't wear in the kitchen. If you do it, you're going to have problem with your legs. You're going to be weary while you're walking, and it might cause accident in the kitchen. So these are the causes of accident. Let's look at the prevention and remedy of accidents in the kitchen. The things you can do, we call them the safety rules. Some have 30, 40 safety rules, depending on the organization. Most organizations have what they call 30 safety rules, 40 safety rules, which you must observe while you're working in that particular catering organization. So you must observe this rule to enable you carry out your work without having any form of accidents in the kitchen. So let's look at the safety rules. Like I said, accident occurrence will be minimized or totally eliminated if established safety rules are observed. Most times, people don't observe safety rules. They're only after carrying out their activity, their duty, daily duty, reporting at duty without, first of all, dressing yourself up for duty. They are not after the safety, they are after the activity. Please, safety is very, very important in every organization. Your safety first before your duty for the day. In order to prevent cuts, the correct knife should be used for appropriate job. In order to prevent cuts, mostly we said cuts are caused by using broken bottle, knives, opening of cans without using cutter and cut you cut. So use the appropriate knife for appropriate job. Handles of knives should be free from grease. Ensure that your handles of your knife is free from grease. Edges of knife equipment should not be wiped facing the hand. You should not wipe your knife using your hand to wipe the face of the knife to cause cuts. Knife should not be placed in a washing sink. People are always doing that. Knife should not be placed in a washing sink because somebody might come in, want to use the sink and put his or her hand inside the sink, and before you know it, you will have a cut. So when carrying out knives, the point must be head downwards. When carrying out knife in the kitchen environment or within the catering, you must point your knife downwards, not this way, but downwards. You must hold your knife this way while you're working, while you're carrying out the duty within the establishment. You must hold your knife down and not up. Frozen meat should not be burned out until it's completely thawed out because it is difficult to, like, you have a frozen fish, you have a frozen meat which is in the freezer. You should not start using your knife to start cutting it. You want to defrost by force. You want to bring it out. You want to make sure it comes and no. Allow to defrost Put in a sink or in a bowl. Allow that frozen meat or fish to defrost on its own. Don't start using your knife to cook. By the time you start cutting, you are bound to have cuts on your hands. So we look at other safety rules. Apron should be worn to a reasonable length. Why we put on apron during practicals or during the kitchen is to make sure that you are properly covered. In case of any spill, it spills on your clothes, not on your body. Covered shoes should be worn in the kitchen environment. Covered shoes. The essence of covered shoes, if any spill over, it will not go down to your body. It will be on whatever you are putting on. It protects you from hot oil, hot water spill, whatever. It protects you from it. Thick clothes or open clothes should be used in carrying out a lot of articles from hot plates, from the open and hot areas. Use a thick cloth or open cloth to carry out anything that is hot. Extra precautions should be taken by cooks when opening steamers and hot pans. Please, extra precautions. When you're opening hot pans, steamers, take extra precautions so you won't have a scat, thereby giving yourself blister all over the face. Gas appliances should be well light whenever they are on. You should check your gas appliance before lighting them on. Before lighting stoves, salamanders oven, check the positions of the switch knobs, smell inside the oven if there's any leakage of gas before lighting them. Please, before you light up your gas appliances, ensure there is no smell of gas within the environment. If there's any, open up the windows, open up the channels, and allow fresh air into the environment to enable the gas to move out of the room before lighting your gas appliances. Hair should not be put too close to the oven. When you're lighting your oven, don't take your head close to the oven when you're lighting the oven. In case if there's any explosion, to have effect on you. Avoid accidents which might occur. To avoid accidents, wear low heel shoes. In this industry, low shoes is only what is permitted to be put on. You put on your low shoe. Whether you are working in the food and beverage service area, you're working in the under housekeeping, it is low shoe. Whichever area you're working in this industry, only low shoe is permitted. It gives you comfort, it gives you balance while you do your work without no fear. Mop up spills of liquid from the floor. Don't say, I'm not the one that bought it. It's not me, it's somebody else. Once you observe it, like I said before, safety, you have to identify safety and remove it. Before lighting stoves, salamander, we should ensure that there is no gas smell within around. So avoid touching electrical appliance with wet hands. Sit about wet. Also, discard broken plugs immediately. Avoid accidents. Wear low heels. Mop up spills. And also look at loose floors in the kitchen also cause accident. Loose floors in the kitchen also cause accident. I should be repaired immediately. The floor should not be littered with peels of foods like banana and others. It causes accidents. Avoid touching electrical appliances when we have said that before. Discard broken plugs, we have said that before. Blown fuse should be replaced with a new one immediately. Switch off all kitchen appliances immediately after use. Please do not leave them on. Do not run in the kitchen or restaurant. This is one of the golden rules we have. When you observe this, it will enable you to have safety within the catering environment. Let's look at these pictures once again. You can see all forms of accidents that have been. It can cause blister. It can cause fall. You can see fire accidents. You can see accident caused by a hot steam. These are accidents that are caused within the kitchen. You can avoid them by doing what is right. Observing that the safety rules within this. Okay, let's also look at the first aid. It's essential, it's important that in every catering organization you must have a first aid box. And the first aid box is always at handy. It's always at a place where you can see them easily and make use of them. It shouldn't be hidden. First aid, we all know first aid. First aid is an immediate temporary care given to an injured person. The initial, the temporary, before the doctors arrive. Given to a patient, or it is a first initial treatment given when an accident or emergency occurs within a particular environment. Let's look at the content of a first aid within the catering establishments. We should have, in the first aid box, we should have the bandage, we should have the forceps, We should have the scissors. We should have the cutting wool. We should have the plaster. We should have ventilated spirits. We should have safety pins, abrogation. We should have Genta, which is GV. We should have antiseptic. We should also have glucose. In terms of somebody is fainting, you can use all this. Let's look at what these are used for. You need bandage to protect the wound from infection. You need forceps to protect the finger from touching the stains and all that. You need scissors to cut the bandages. You need cotton wool to cover up wounds in case of such accident takes place. You need plaster to cover the wounds also. You need ventilated spirit to clean up fresh wound, disinfecting the wound. You need safety pin to hold the bandage together before the doctor arrives. You need abrogation, which is deep heat in case of fall and all that. You need Panadol, paracetamol, we call them little pain relievers within the first aid box. We need a GV for painting open wounds. And I said, when you have, in this injury, one of the things we observe in hygiene is that when you have a broken hand, broken fingers, you must not walk. You must cover with a waterproof plaster and not what to contaminate the food you are cooking. We also need antiseptic to wash up like the azide, Dettol, and other to kill microscope and disinfecting materials that have used to take care of accidents victims. We also need glucose in case of accidents. So, in this industry, safety is very, very important. When you observe, remember, when you observe the rules, the safety rules, you avoid accidents. You avoid being injured. You avoid causing accident for someone else working in the same environment with you. Please observe safety rule. First, safety is the most important thing in this industry to ensure that you don't injure yourself, injure others, or causing problem for the organization, even fire outbreak. So in the next class, we're looking at firefighting and equipment used in fighting fire in the industry. The assignment is on the board. Thank you and have a good day.